pick what they wanted, who they wanted to sponsor, or something like that?
You could send it in their honor.
Yeah.
You could send it in their honor. It basically gets thrown into a pot just to pay for the hotel rooms and everything else. But you could, when you send in your sponsorship, you could put it in honor of a particular person. Mm-hmm. Yes.
So if you have a loved one that's has passed, or you lost in Korea, World War II, or Vietnam, or Afghanistan, or whatever, you'd like to honor them, the Ride Home could always use the money to honor these POWs. Up until Vietnam, the POWs were basically treated like they were cowards, and
yes.
Why didn't you fight, and so forth. And after Vietnam, there was it seemed to have changed a little bit, but still they're kind of looked at as different, I think, sometimes. And these are men who became prisoners not as a what they wanted to do. If you, like I said, we lost a lot of men who became prisoners, were shot down in their airplanes, and if that parachute coming down, almost every one of them had a broken leg, a broken arm, or something. And it's hard to fight when you're surrounded by a whole bunch of people that don't like you and don't like the idea that you've been bombing them or whatever. And they go through a whole lot. Does any particular POW that you think of now that has kind of really touched your heart from the Ride Home more than others, without sounding picking out anybody in particular, but somebody that stands out, we'll say?
Yes. I have a very, very dear friend, Dallas Mossman. He's a Korean POW. He was one of the incorrigibles, and he had really bad PTSD, and his wife was gone. And he said, Monica, nobody wants me to talk about it. Nobody wants to let me talk about it, and I have to talk about what I went through. And he just said, until we had you guys, we were there. They feel so. It's hard to put into words. They just feel so much better, and it is a calming effect for them, and almost like a therapy. But Dallas is so sweet. He rides on 86 years old, and he rides on the back of my motorcycle in the parade through town. Last year and this past year, the last 2 years. And I've been honored now to be invited to the Korean POW reunion last year and again this year, which will be the last year for the POW reunion. They all become very special to you. And I love them all. It's like having a bunch of uncles.
Well, you mentioned how much they wanted to, first of all, they appreciate somebody that actually recognizes them and appreciates them. But I run into Vietnam veterans all the time who say, well, I don't want to talk about it. And we have shown and proven that the very fact that you sit down and talk about it with some other veterans is probably one of the most healing things you can do. Going into classes that we do and talking to the high school students there, getting that story out, getting out that you've been buried down inside. Because when we came home, of course, most people know that you couldn't talk about you were a Vietnam vet. We all kept it bottled up inside us for a long time, which made the post-traumatic stress even worse. And for those of you who are not quite certain what post-traumatic stress is basically all the things that you went through, traumatic things that you went through that just kind of stays there and eats away at you a little bit every day, every minute, and different grades of it. And some people, there's totally deliberate. Yeah. My southern tongue won't do that word.
Debilitated.
That's what I was saying. That's what I said. Just I couldn't get that. Yeah. And then some others it has a hard time with their family life, their jobs, and so forth. We used to call it. I think Patton called it shell shock when he in the movie where he slapped the guy because he was shell shock. It's a true problem. Has been a problem. World War II and World War I, one of the ways they'd solve the post-traumatic stress problems was giving those soldiers lobotomies. They discovered that using the ice pick in the eye and that special part of the brain did better than anything else. Fortunately, we have moved on a little bit from that and so forth. Now, Monica, I want to talk a little bit about the time I have left that The one thing that you are probably most passionate about right now is Bo and bringing him home. Tell us a little bit about Bo, his family, and where he's at, what's going on with him.
Okay. Army Sergeant Bo Bergdahl was in the Paktika province near Afghanistan, near the Pakistan border in Afghanistan, and there's a lot of controversy about his capture. But the WikiLeaks has given us the official Army interpretation of this. It was a hilltop. People say he left base. Well, what's a base? This kid was on top of a hill, you know, with some dugout trenches for bedding and for protection. And to go to the bathroom, you had to go away from the bedding area. Okay, according to the official Army paperwork, Bo went to the bathroom. There were 35 men on this hilltop. The highest ranking one was a sergeant. They had been through a lot of trauma the week before. They had had an MRAP that had broken down in town, and they were under fire for 3 days and stuck on that MRAP for 3 days and until they could get it repaired.
Okay,
And
what's an MRAP?
it's a type of, it's a vehicle, and that it's supposed to have the protection for IEDs underneath it. So this heavy plated metal protection that protects the vehicle also makes the engine overheat, and they break down quite often. So these young soldiers had been through a lot of stress that past week, and they had lost a lot of their leadership over different reasons. And so Bo went to the bathroom. At the time, the Taliban knew that they wanted to capture someone because they wanted an American to trade for Aifa Siddiqui, who is a female doctor who was being tried in New York for war crimes. Bo was captured. Now, whether he trusted the two Pakistani people, Afghani people that were working on the base, or whether he went to the bathroom and was captured, it's a little bit of a gray area. But he's gone. He's being held. We had the opportunity to buy him back. He was offered back to the United States for a sum of money within the first month. And the United States government said, we don't deal with terrorists. We don't do that. So he was sold to the Haqqani network, and we believe he is now being held in Pakistan. He was captured as a private. The POW-MIA network refers to him as Private Bo Bergdahl because they go on your rank at time of capture. But he has been receiving his promotions and is now considered a sergeant in the eyes of the military. His mom and dad live in Haley, Idaho, where they have a wonderful support network. I think the entire town supports them and tries to help them, and they work constantly. Bob Bergdahl has a website that is bringboback.com, and he updates it some, and he also asks that you follow him on Twitter. He's probably more available that way. We need to bring Bo home. Hillary Clinton in 2012 designated the Haqqani as a terrorist group. So there goes our ability to negotiate with the Haqqani, because now they are terrorists. We've asked President Clinton, isn't that a blast from the past? We have asked President Obama a few times, face to face, how is Bo Bergdahl? Patrick Hughes, who is a Rolling Thunder national photographer and is in Arlington, has had the opportunity to ask the president twice at close range, what is the status of Bo Bergdahl? The president tells us he's alive and he's well, but that's all that we have. I can't help but think that we know where he is. If we can send drones into Pakistan and take out terrorists in a house, we can't find Bo? Come on.
You know, when you mentioned that the group, they're part of Al-Qaeda?
They are not a part of Al-Qaeda. However, they are sympathetic toward Al-Qaeda. They are like They're a different group, but yet they honor them.
Okay, so they fight the same battles Al Qaeda's doing. They just got their own leadership and
Yes.
okay. Well, now there's something about on Tuesdays. What happens on Tuesdays?
Bo Bergdahl was captured on a Tuesday. June 30th, 2009 was a Tuesday. So on Facebook, you have Bo Tuesday, and you'll see a lot of support for Bo. There'll be posts about him, everyone's sharing posts. And when I talk about Bo's Army, it is not a specific group. All you have to do is say, I'm going to advocate for Bo Bergdahl, and you are a member of Bo's Army. We are everyone. There's no specific group or anything. It's just what us advocates, what we call ourselves. I have a page on Facebook. It's called 4 Years Too Long. It's a group. And I try to keep the information that we find out about Bo updated on that page. It's not much coming out now, so all we can do is try. But we have got to keep his name in front of the Senate, in front of the House, in front of the President, in front of the military, because you cannot let him be forgotten. Because once he's forgotten, then they feel no pressure to bring him home.
Now they're holding him hostage for some. They'd like to have some of their people released. Is that?
They have given us a list of 5 names of Al-Qaeda operatives that are being held at Guantanamo Bay that they want released for Bo. However, those negotiations fell through this summer in July because when Al-Qaeda set up a office in Qatar, the Afghan people had a problem with the flag that they flew outside their office. They felt that they were trying to be their own country instead of being part of Afghanistan. And so Karzai said that if we met with the Al-Qaeda group, that he would stop anything with America, that we would have to leave Afghanistan, which is what we need to do. We need to have left Afghanistan years ago. And if you talk to the former POWs, especially the Vietnam POWs, they will tell you they're not going to release Bo until
Welcome to Triangle BNI. Today's show is brought to you by Oak City Tech. We talk all the time in the digital world. There's a lot going on, so you need professionals like Drago and his team at Oak City Tech to help you navigate that world and get your message out to your current and future clients. If you go to oakcitytech.com, tell them what you're looking for. I know they'll be able to help you. Hi, everybody. My name is Mike Manning. Each week on Triangle BNI, we bring you a local small business success story. If you are not familiar with BNI, it is Business Networking International, the world's largest networking organization. And our little slice of heaven here in the Triangle is Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill, and all the surrounding towns. Each week, about 31 chapters and around 520 members get together, and our job is to help each other grow our businesses. And our local small business success story today is Kimberly Hess with U.S. Health Advisor. Kim is a member of a core group, Triangle North, based in Franklinton, the area, one of the areas around the Triangle that's exploding. And Kim and her band of professionals are getting there before everybody else does to meet people and grow businesses. And Kim, how are you doing today?
Doing great. How are you?
Doing
Excited
good.
to be here.
Good. Glad to have you. The Franklinton, Youngsville, Lewisburg, Franklinton County area, people who aren't
Fly BNI.
the Fly BNI, the people who aren't following, new houses being built and stuff growing. I mean, that area is just blowing up, isn't it?
It is. It is. It's we're having our meetings out there and attracting a lot of new businesses that are growing in the area. So it's really exciting.
And if you don't know where that is, it's right up US 1 North, go right past Wake Forest. It'll be a little quiet for a bit, and then poof, a lot of houses being built will show up. But Kim's group, Triangle North, meets Wednesdays at 11:30. Every other week, Kim, it's in person, and the other weeks it's Zoom for now, correct?
The first and third Wednesday, 11:30, we're in person. And then every other time we're in Zoom.
And the name of the restaurant where you guys meet in person?
We're at Mason and Main right now, but last week we had so many visitors that we think that maybe we're going to have it somewhere a little bit bigger. So that's exciting.
Oh, yeah. So anybody in that area, if you're looking to meet some sales professionals and business owners that can help you grow your business, you might want to check them out, because that area, in about 9, 10, 12 months, Kim, it's going to be too late for people to go out there and go, ooh, that area is growing. I'm going to go grow my business, because you and your team and all the people joining your group, they're going to have a foothold in there. And so people need to get there now, because it's a lot of fun.
That's right. Yeah, it's growing fast. We had about 20 visitors last week, which was exciting.
Yeah, I enjoy watching your group, because and for people who don't know what a core group is a small band of folks getting together. They want to form their own chapter and launch it and be an official BNI chapter. And usually in a core group, you have like 2 people doing all the work. And in Kim's group, there's 7 to date right now, and all 7 of them are moving. And I think that helps you guys a lot. They have a Group Me text chain, which is hysterical.
We're all really new to BNI too, except for a couple of them. So for us, it's, we're like a group of friends, and we're bouncing ideas off each other, and we're really excited to grow.
And good personalities on the line too. That's what makes it interesting for me to keep reading and just chuckle a whole lot when you guys get
little
talking
weekend
about
reading for you.
Exactly, I like it. So, all right. So U.S. Health Advisors, and the more BNI's taught me a lot of things over the years I've been involved, and one of those is to shop local. Love that, because there's certain people in your life you should have their cell phone number for. And I include, health advisors and health insurance folks like you on that. I just don't think most people know the options on health insurance, because a lot of it, especially in my generation, it was, you work for this company, here's the insurance you get, that's it, no options, and you're welcome. That's it. But man, today with the options and things you have at your disposal, there's a lot of things people can improve on with their health insurance.
Yeah, I want to start by saying, before I went into this business, I actually owned a spa business. And I went on Marketplace and I won't name the company, but I had a health insurance through them. I was paying over $800 for me and my daughter. And I had a high deductible. COVID came and shut my doors down, and I was forced into this career, kind of. I was recruiting for this company, and the more I sat in the office and listened and learned to the other agents in there talk about private health insurance, I didn't know it was out there. I had no idea it was even an option. I had them run a quote for me, and I went from paying over $800 to less than $400 for me and my daughter. And I had better benefits, lower deductible, PPO coverage. I went back and calculated all the money I had lost over the years because I had no idea that this option was out there. That's why I'm so passionate about it now. I really want to tell small business owners and anybody that you can save money on your health insurance with private health insurance if you're a relatively healthy person.
And with regard to small business owners, usually we're looking at our P&L. We focus way too much, I think, on revenue, because we need to look at expenses and what can we cut. And I think there's certain lines, and one of those is the insurance world, that I think a lot of us were just trained to accept whatever the number is. And all they have to do is call you and just ask. And they're probably going to find some benefits through you that they didn't think were out there, or nobody ever, or more importantly, nobody ever told them about.
Well, traditionally, you have to have a certain amount of people to get group coverage. Everybody has to, 75% of them have to participate in it. Everybody gets the same plan, same cookie cutter plan, same rates, and that's it. That's all that's offered. With our plans, they're customizable. They're going to be lower premiums, better benefits. It's just a better option for business owners.
For solopreneurs, whether they have one employee or none, it's still a good idea for them to call you, right?
That's my favorite people to work with because they don't think they have a group. They don't think they have group coverage. They need group coverage. And I can do one. And I mean, the most that I usually write are 5 and below, a group of 5 or below.
Yeah, I'm just amazed at what has changed out there. And so you mentioned earlier the marketplace, right? We hear a lot of this is open enrollment, but that does not pertain to you, correct?
No, so we can enroll all year long. We don't follow the ACA guidelines as far as for open enrollment. So open enrollment, you'll get your letter in the mail of how much, if you're on Marketplace, if you need a guaranteed issue plan, if you have pre-existing conditions, then yes, Marketplace is going to be the best option for you to take care of yourself. But the open enrollment is a small time for them. Then you can only enroll during that period. So you get your letter saying your premium went up.
Yeah.
Your premium has increased 29%. Please pick another plan, or this plan's not available. So I still can help people with that too. I can see all the options that are out there because sometimes people won't qualify for our plans and we'll need to put them on a Marketplace plan. And then I could look at those things too. But not everybody in the family has to be on that plan. So a lot of people also think that, oh, we all have to be on the same plan. No, you don't. If the husband has had a heart attack, then we'll put him on a guaranteed issue plan. And if the wife and the children are relatively healthy, they can go on our plans and you'll wind up saving money.
And also, if you are the spouse, the husband or the wife, and your spouse, it works for a company that offers insurance, sometimes, from what I gather, talking with you and some other U.S. health advisors, is it may be cheaper for someone like me to call you to get off my wife's plan because it's way more expensive probably on her plan than if I called you guys.
So it all depends. So if you go to work for somebody like, I don't know, SAS or Cisco, where there's thousands of people, your premiums are going to be probably lower. But if you work for a company and they're offering benefits and they're not that big, sometimes the premiums for the spouse and the children are going to be a lot. I actually just helped a girlfriend of mine. She's a nurse, and her small place of work offers health coverage. So her husband and daughter were on it. It was about $600 for them or something. But I got them down to $400. So I saved them a couple $100 for that, but they got better benefits.
Well, and that's the question that we don't ask. And when I've had, property and casualty agents on the show, and you hear these national commercials, nothing against anybody that advertises, hey, we'll save you 25% over 15 minutes, whatever their tagline is. A lot of times people go price shopping, but I don't know if they really ask for, what am I really getting for this?
Yeah, it's we try to sell on our value. So we do, we have our plans, but then we have supplemental benefits. So you don't have to come out of pocket. If you're sick, we have benefits that are going to cover your deductible while you're getting your treatments. You don't find that on the Marketplace. You have to pay your premium and you have to meet your deductible in order to have health insurance.
In going back to your story with COVID, with your spa, and all of a sudden everything got closed down, I know there are people listening today that are between jobs or getting ready to change jobs. That affects your insurance. It could take a while for it to kick in. So if they're between jobs, what options do they have? What should they be doing right now to make sure they're still covered?
Calling a U.S. health advisor. Definitely, because we can see everything. Our job isn't to just write our plans. Like, you need our plans. Our job is to look at your whole situation and put you into the best possible spot for yourself and your family. So with that, we are able to see our plans. And if you don't qualify for our plans, or then we can look at Marketplace and put you on Marketplace. And if you need a subsidy, we actually can help with look at those as well. For right now, people's situation changes all the time. So let's say you're not making enough right now, you know, and you need that tax credit right now. You're between jobs. It happens. Then we can put you back on our plan when the situation changes, because we can enroll all year long.
Yeah, I just think in a lot of areas today in our life, there's so many options out there that I think people are just hesitant to ask. They're like, well, that's what I'm paying. I have coverage. I don't know exactly what it is, but I have it. And I just wish people would call, whether it's your, you know, your auto insurance, your home insurance, your health insurance, your, you know, whatever, just call and say, hey, what, you know, let's look at what I have. Can I get anything better? So I just wish people
I'm
would
so surprised, and I deal with this all day long. People have no idea what their deductible is. I'll say, okay, well, you're paying this. They know what they pay. Sometimes they don't even know what they pay. It just comes out of their paycheck. They don't know.
Yeah.
But they don't know what their deductible is. And then sometimes I'll write a plan for somebody, and they'll say, oh, well, I'm getting this for $0. I'm not paying anything. But they have a $17,000 deductible. So do you really have health insurance if you can't pay that? No.
Yeah. And you have 17,000 laying around to get in, you know. Oh,
Yeah.
man. So talking about the spa that you own, first of all, I always have to practice the word esthetician. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you didn't use that a lot, did you?
Esthetician?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. It confuses people.
I think there's more people like me than you. It's like, wait, I think I know what that does, but I'd hate to have to
They
answer it
say-
on Jeopardy.
Most men think it's an esthetician, the surgeon.
Oh, okay. So you had Be Beautiful Spa, right?
I did.
So what made you open that?
So after I had Kate, my daughter, Kaylee, I started doing spray tans for a couple of my friends did bodybuilding competitions, and I sprayed them for their shows. And then I just turned it into a mobile spa where I went to people's houses and set up my tent and sprayed people. That in turn turned into, I decided to add facials. One of my clients said, you know what, since you're coming, can you add facials? I said, sure. So I would bring my table. And instead of lugging all that stuff all around, I decided just to open a studio. And I set up all my stuff there. I had a nice room. I added eyelash extensions. I loved it. I got to talk to women all day long and make them feel good.
Mm-hmm.
So it was very lucrative, and it was, I loved going to work. It wasn't like work. I would sit and chit chat with my girlfriends all day.
If it weren't for COVID, would you still be doing that today?
I do it on the side actually during holidays.
Oh,
I
I
do.
bet.
It's my little side hustle, and I love it. I don't think of it as work at all. I probably would, but you know what? It was a blessing. It was the silver lining. I worked all the time. I worked 7 days a week. I was there sometimes at 5 o'clock in the morning to do people's lashes before they went to work.
Dang.
My daughter would spend the day at my studio, and then I was there late night too after people worked. So I did all my own marketing. I did all my own billing. I wore all the hats, you know, just like any other business owner does. But I didn't realize that I was getting a little burnt out. I lost myself a little bit. So going into this career, I'm still busy, but I'm able to spend time with my daughter. I make my own schedule, and I'm still able to help people. I'm a helper, so I'm still able to help better people's lives, which I love.
I know the first time you and I met a few months ago at one of the initial meetings about, you know, getting into BNI, and every time you popped up on a call, you were in your car in a different part of the triangle. You truly do drive around a bunch.
I lived by Zebulon, so I was always that hour drive, I'm like killing two birds with one stone.
Yeah.
I was either listening to a podcast or on a Zoom call or something, which you said was very dangerous. So
Yes.
I stopped doing that.
Eyelashes at 5 in the morning.
Yeah, well, you know what? I actually still get up about that early now, so it helps.
But so they would
Yeah.
come to see you on their way to work.
Yeah, they would get up
Wow.
and be in pajamas or whatever, just would come in with their coffee or just climb right back in because I had a nice bed set up, and they would get under the covers. It was heated, and they'd either just go back to sleep, and I'd do the lashes for a couple hours, and then they'd head off to work.
Were
It's like a Jetsons. They just walk through and they'd be ready.
now, how long does that process take?
A full set took 2 hours, and then a fill 45 minutes maybe.
2 hours for eyelashes?
Yeah, yeah.
How
You
long
have
would
to,
that
like,
last?
it takes a long time. You have to do each lash, so it's very precise.
How long would
Yeah.
that last?
They last indefinitely as long as you just keep getting fills. Yeah, then you just have to keep going back and with your appointments, just like nails.
Okay. All right.
High maintenance stuff.
I had no idea it took that long. All right. I like learning stuff. That's what I learned today. 2 hours.
Yeah.
What got you into that? Did you always dabble in things like that?
I guess skincare. I always was fascinated of what you put into your body, how it comes out on your face. I suffered with acne a little bit when I was younger, and I would read, about inflammation and why this does this to your skin, and it just that was the path it took me on. It was skincare. I wanted to help people. I had a lot of clients that had acne, a lot of teen clients,
Yeah.
and it's turned into nutrition and taking care of your body and taking care of your skin and just your well-being.
Let's assume eyelashes aren't the answer to the question. Were there any ways that Be Beautiful Spa could help guys look better?
It's funny, and I won't name his name, but my first BNI meeting, one of my friends used to come to me and get facials. And he said, you know what, you should come to my BNI meeting. And I did. And I got 2 clients from that. And one was a paycheck person, and then another person worked at a bank, another lady.
Okay.
And they helped me grow. They shared it at Christmas time with their family,
Yeah.
and they were lovely.
But you didn't do a facial for a guy, did you?
I did, yeah, I did. I had a few
Right.
guy clients that would come in, and they just did it as like a relaxing.
Okay.
'Cause you get like a shoulder massage,
Yeah.
facial massage. It was relaxed time.
Now, talking about
Men want to feel pretty too.
yeah, I think we don't. I think most people are worried about looking older, and so we had this discussion yesterday. We were at a holiday party, and it was me and 3 women in a conversation, 2 wives and somebody engaged, and one of the women said that, well, guys is just, they look better as they get older, and we women, and then she went into the litany of 1,000 things of what's wrong with the way a woman looks, which is total crap. Let me tell you that right now. Total crap. Ladies look way better than they think they do, but I get they're not going to brag about it, right? Said, no, that's all right. Hang on a sec. Said, does your husband still like putting his arm around you or holding your hand? She's like, yeah, like, that's what you need to know. If that's still there, you're good. But we're dying laughing about, and she was right, because there are some very ugly men on TV, very ugly. And if a woman looked that bad, they would never make it on TV. So, hey, it's a double standard and a poor double standard. But I get, I get those conversations. So, my wife, we're her grandparents, and she's always looking. She's getting ready, go to work in the morning, and I'll pop into the bathroom and see if, make her a cup of coffee or whatever she wants for breakfast, help her get out the door, and there's always a comment, right, Kim? Woman looking in the mirror, there's always a comment.
Yeah. Well, I feel good being a woman because if something's wrong, we can put makeup on. we could fix it, or we could put glasses on, or we could do something to kind of cover it up. You guys, I don't know.
Yeah. We don't care.
You're on your own.
I know. I will tell women this, and honestly, I'm very sincere in this. On Zoom, we guys have no idea if you have makeup on. So, because I'll be on women, oh, excuse me, I'm not going to turn my camera on. I don't have makeup on. Well, now that you told me, I know you don't, but if you just turn your camera on, we're not that smart. And we're not looking for that. We're like, ooh, look, she's on. Now, I'm sure women may look at it differently, but I understand it's for you to feel good when you're on a screen or on a camera or something like that. But just to put that to bed, ladies, we guys, A, it doesn't matter. B, we couldn't tell. We'd have to guess.
It's a whole process for us. It makes us feel good.
Yes. And
We
I've been
feel
told,
better.
yeah, it has. I think the phrase was, hey, idiot, it's not for you. I'm like, okay, I get it now.
Right. For the red lipsticks for us.
Yeah, there you go. It looks good. Don't get me wrong, but we won't know if you don't have it on the base on and stuff like that. So, talking about taking care of yourself, you are a workout. Are you a workout nut or just a workout person?
You know what? I want to say the past couple months I've gone through a little bit of phases, because yes, I was a little obsessed before. I worked out in the morning, I worked out at night. Now I'm finding balance. I don't have to do gym stuff. I'll do a walk with my daughter and the dog, and that gets my cardio, the 45 minutes, fresh air, just being able to relax myself, I guess, and do my exercise for the day makes me feel good. So yeah, a little bit.
Okay, all right. You said you used to do spray tans for some of your friends that were bodybuilders. Did you ever do that?
I didn't. Mm-mm. No, not yet. Maybe in the future. Not right now.
I like it. That's an intense world, isn't it?
It really is. It's nutrition.
Yeah.
You know, that's something I love food. It's hard for me. And you know what? It's holiday time. So I'm definitely not doing one anytime soon until after the new year.
Yeah. I think people fall into one or two groups. Either they eat to live or they live to eat.
Yeah.
Right. And,
yeah. I get tempted. I like a good steak. I love my desserts.
Yeah.
You know, my daughter convinced me to get a little cheesecake yesterday. I did great all weekend.
Yep.
And then she said, Mom, let's go get, cheesecake. Well, she asked me, I have to have some.
Yeah. Because I get up so early, I usually eat lunch about 10 o'clock. So I was making a salad before I came over here to do the show, and good and healthy cucumbers, tomatoes, right? Lettuce, not a lot of salad dressing on, feeling good. And then my wife went to Sam's last Friday, and she walked by the dessert portion of Sam's and had to get this like slices of, cinnamon and apple and frost, stuff like that, just like 6 slices, 18, and, and yeah, I had to have one of those. So yeah, you try real hard, don't you, Kim? It's like, I'm going to be healthy and need to see that. And you're like, I may as well have it.
You got to live, though.
I know. So I've got to learn the trade-off. Okay, if I really want this, what do I got to give up? And I think if you can find that, like I love sweet tea, but my body won't let me drink it every day. So if I drink it twice a week, sometimes 3, I'm usually okay. But I got to try to give up something else. It's kind of like budgeting, right?
Yeah.
Kind of like, okay, here's what I want to go to Europe on a vacation. It's going to cost this. What do I got to give up? Okay, is it $8 at Starbucks every day?
Some people work out a lot because they like to eat a lot.
Yes.
So it's balance. Everything's all about balance.
I used to be able to do that, but bad backs will tell you, yeah, you probably shouldn't be doing that. But yeah, I'm with you on that. It was nice when I was younger and you could go out and run, 5 miles at night, and then the next day, you're good to go and eat and whatever. So I'm with you on that. So, all right, you spoke of Kaylee. I believe you refer to her as your mini.
Yeah, she's my mini me. Yeah. Well, her father says she's just like you. So
That's
I don't know if
good.
that's a good or bad thing coming from my ex, but
We like it. We'll agree that that's good to be like you. So, do you guys shop for the same things and same taste and everything?
so very exciting. We wear the same size shoe now. So we went to Target yesterday and she got a pair of, we're going to Pennsylvania for Thanksgiving and it snowed up there. So here, I don't really have any boots here. I mean, maybe one or two pairs. So she just got a new pair of boots. So she got a black pair. And so I said, oh my God, I'll get a brown pair and then we'll have like two pairs. It's great. So we can share shoes now, which is fantastic. Not the pants. She's way too skinny, long legs. She's got longer legs than me already. And I can't even get my ankle in her pants. So forget it.
You know, I've been a husband long enough. I stay away from those lines. I used to bite on those to try to do no, like now I just let it go. So, do you two both share the same taste in the shoes?
We do. She loves sporty clothes. So
Okay.
she loves the Nikes and
Yeah.
she has to have the expensive Nikes and the Lululemon outfits, which is great. So I can't wait for her to get a little bit bigger so we can share that because that's expensive.
Or for her to get a job to start paying for some of it, right?
Right. Yeah. You have to be 18 to work at Lulu. We already looked into it.
Okay. Well, that's good planning.
We need
fi-
the
good-
discount at Christmas time.
Oh yeah, good financial planning down the road.
Yes.
All right, well,
Planning ahead.
help me out here then. My wife and I have two boys, and we got our first granddaughter about a little over 3.5 months ago. What can I look forward to being part of watching a little girl grow up? Now, they live in Charlotte, so we see them on a semi-regular basis. She's only 3.5 months right now, so it's going to be a little bit, but what can I look forward to?
So I just loved everything that Kaylee was getting into. She liked like trucks and stuff like that, I guess, growing up. Blocks, stuff like that. But it's fun to watch them discover new things too. She always liked the sand. She had to eat it. She loved the beach. So we always had to watch out for her. Because you go to Wilmington, I think, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you got to watch out for her eating the sand.
Well, we did that with dirt growing up. So I
Yeah.
think that's why my generation has a pretty good immune system because we ate dirt and mud and bugs. Who knows what was in the dirt? Yeah.
Yeah, there's no
Like-
sanitizing.
No, hell, oh gosh,
Everyone's
no.
healthy.
No, the sanitizing was the garden hose. Go
Yeah.
rinse it off. Well, while I'm here, let me have a drink, and we're off and running. A great immune system, from growing
That's
up.
it. Got to get the germs to build up the immune system.
Yep. Oh, we got them all right. That's right. Our hands were dirty all day, and we're just picking up food and eating it. We didn't think of a lot of things back then. Seat belts. Who needs a seat belt, right? Do you have brothers and sisters?
I have a younger sister. She's actually at the beach. She's in Wilmington.
Okay.
She works at a bank there. And she's married and has a daughter who's similar age to my daughter. So they're bestie cousins, which is great. And we see them often.
Were you a good big sister?
I want to say yes.
I'll believe you. Say whatever you want. Just me and you talking here.
We
so-
were just, it's funny you asked me that because my mom and I were just on the phone this morning. I actually talk to my mom every morning on the phone.
Good.
And we were laughing about this tape that my sister found. After my dad passed, we went through all his stuff and he had this tape of us. And there was always me yelling at her to draw something or write something. And she was not old enough to do it. She was always in tears. And I was constantly yelling at her, just, why can't you write it? And she's like, I'm 3. Like, I guess I was a bully.
What's the age difference?
2 years.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to
it's
say
only
like you
2
were
years.
10 at the time. Okay.
No, I was just bossy.
All right.
I guess I was just wanted to bully her.
Does she remember it that way?
Oh, yes. And she tells it even worse. I'm even
Oh, yeah.
worse.
Oh, can't wait to meet
I've
her one day.
accepted it. I know I was a little mean, but yeah, she makes it 10 times worse. She makes me feel bad about it today.
Yeah. My brother is, I think we were, about 16, 17 months, maybe 18 months apart. And he wanted to hang out with me and my friends. Like, dude, that's not happening. So I was always beating up on him to keep him in the house or just like, get out of my way. And so my oldest son, after day 2 of him having a younger brother, I told him he was already a better big brother than I was to my little brother.
Oh.
All right. So
Yeah.
if I go ahead, you're going to say something?
Oh, no.
Okay.
No.
All right. So you are engaged to
Yeah.
Brett. All right. One of the questions I love asking people on the show is, how did you and Brett meet? And you both tell the story the same way.
Oh gosh. We have a story we tell people because it sounds cute, like we met at the gym, but we didn't. We actually met on Bumble.
Okay.
It was over COVID, and I guess that's how people meet now.
Quite a few people,
But-
yeah.
People do internet dating. I never did, but I was home, so that's what I did. But we were both into the gym. He's a gym rat, and he's in there all the time. He's a bodybuilder, so he actually does consistently go to the gym like every day and watch what he eats and all that stuff.
Well, he's not going to steal any of your pie then, right? Or cookies?
Oh, but he does. He does. He'll
Ah.
cheat.
Yeah. When nobody's looking, he'll
Just a little
grab
bit.
one. Then when you
Just
say,
a little
hey,
bit.
where'd that cookie go? He's like, I wasn't even in the room, right?
Yeah, he's not in. You know what? He's not really into sweets, which makes me mad.
Yeah.
Because then he's not tempted.
And he's certainly not going to, certainly not going to buy anything on the way home for you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
No.
like, come on, man.
Nothing.
Yeah. Well, tell him to go buy some kale for him and sweets for you when he goes by the store.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have a little his and her shelf, right?
Yes. He's into venison right now. So
Ooh.
it's hunting season, and
Yeah.
he just made some venison stew the other day.
Oh,
So it
that's
was really good.
Yeah, that's good stuff. That's okay. That'll play. So then, how long was it before you guys actually met in person?
We talked on the phone for, I don't know, maybe a month or so, and then decided, you know what, is this just going to be a text thing?
Mhm.
Like most things it's just all texting, I guess. And we met in person. We went to Lafayette Village, and that was our first date, and we ordered the same thing. Both had salmon and vegetables, and we were like, oh, okay. We kind of eat the same, and I guess that's important to me anyway.
Oh yeah, yeah. So when did you know that this might have a little potential?
I think the first time I met him,
Okay.
I saw him, and we just had good banter,
Mhm.
and he made me laugh, and it felt safe, and I kind of knew.
So filling out your Bumble profile, what did you have to think about? Do
I
I
shouldn't
want?
even have brought that. I should have made
No.
up a totally
No,
different story.
no. No, I'm not going to hang you out to dry. But on some of those questions,
We
did
can't edit that out.
you? Sure.
No, I'm just kidding.
Could, not gonna, but we could, yeah. But on some of those questions, I know you have to sit for a minute and think, all right, how much do I want to put out there? And what do I want to put out there, right?
Yeah. I think for both of us, I'm a really upfront person, and so is he. So when we met, there was no lies, I guess.
Yep.
But sometimes other people lie.
Oh, yeah,
on there.
I've heard of that, yeah.
So
Or,
it's scary. It's a scary world out there.
or
I don't want to do it ever again.
I couldn't imagine dating
I'm
right
done.
now. Yeah, I couldn't imagine. Yeah, or the people that are like 37 and they put the picture up of when they were 27. It's like, no.
Yeah. That
'Cause-
I've been on a couple nightmare dates that has happened, and or a lot older, maybe.
Yeah.
Either older or younger, or just not even the same picture. Like,
Yeah.
is that even the same person?
Well, and that's the thing. You're gonna find out, so they may as well tell you right up front, right? Oh,
Yeah, well-
I bet you were hopping mad.
I was just very shocked and disappointed, I
Yeah.
guess. It's just a waste of time.
Yeah.
Don't waste people's time.
No.
Something we don't get back. Don't waste our time.
I was listening to, I think it was a podcast I was listening to. I'm all over the place with podcasts. And one of the ladies, they were sharing dating advice. And one of the ladies said, no, you do not, the first date is not over a meal because you can't leave easily. So you meet for a cup of coffee because you can make it 12 minutes or you can make it 52 minutes, depending on how it's going. But don't do your first date over a meal. And I thought, that was my first date. But that was years ago. So, but it does make sense.
Or at a bar,
Yeah.
because I remember somebody was doing shots and shots and shots, and I said, I'm going to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And I didn't come back.
No.
I just was like, he's having fun without me. I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah. You
He
saw
won't miss me. I'm good.
You got a nice glimpse into your future right there. Probably.
Yeah. I got to exit quickly, that one.
You saw, now when I do my show, I tastefully stalk my guest on social media just to, find talking points and learn more about you. And I saw a post you had on Facebook about donating plasma. Now, could that be a revenue stream? Could it be a side hustle for me?
So, okay, during when COVID happened, when my door shut on my spa, I actually did not get any unemployment. They denied me unemployment. I had a savings, thank God, but I wasn't getting any. I didn't have any income. That's why I was forced to do recruiting for this company. Thank God. But yes, my friend was like, you should go donate plasma. They offer, a certain amount. And I started doing it just to have money to put food on the table, to pay, my electric bill. And I do that twice a week. I'm doing it more consistently now. So twice a week you can donate, and I don't know, between $500 and $800 maybe a month. So
Really?
that to me is my car payment, and that to me is my daughter's horseback riding lessons.
Now,
So, yeah,
if I
it
remember
works.
right, they draw blood, pull the plasma out, and put the blood back in?
Yes, it's
Okay.
for people's. It helps people's immune system.
Yeah. Now, how long does that whole process take?
Under an hour.
Wow. And where
I drink a lot of water, so I'm out out in 30 minutes usually.
where can you go to do that?
So you can go. I go to Griffles, which is on New Bern Avenue.
Yeah.
And there's two other Griffles places, but I think that's the one that pays the most here in the area. There's other places.
Do you have a frequent donor plan where with every 10th you get a 11th check free or something like that?
They do send you some bonuses here and there, and
All
then
right.
if whoever goes and mentions my name, I get a $50 bonus. So
Ah,
go donate.
all right. That's too funny because I saw that.
Holiday time. I had a lot of people reach out to me actually yesterday when I posted that because, it's holiday time. People want some extra money for gifts and stuff now, and you're doing a good cause.
Yeah. And I've heard of people doing that before, but I hadn't heard about it in a while. Then I saw your post. It's like, okay, need to ask about that.
Yeah.
All right. So college. Now I know what SUNY is. So I knew that. I'd never heard. Is it Ulster?
SUNY Ulster. So when I
Right.
graduated high school, I started going to SUNY Ulster for graphic design and advertising. That was what I wanted to do. There's a lot of art involved, and I'm not very artistic, drawing wise. Maybe the graphic side, but I had to sit in a field and draw the apple orchards, and my grandmother had my picture in her living room. It was awful, but she loved it.
Yep.
Grandma's,
Grandparents will do that. It's like,
so
yep,
proud of it.
yep.
But I was like, gosh, Grandma, you got to take that down. So that wasn't my path.
Where is Ulster?
So Kingston, New York.
What part of the state?
Ulster County. So 2 hours north of the city.
Okay.
So I grew up in New Paltz, New York, which is 2 hours north of the city. Very similar looking to Asheville. It's beautiful.
Okay.
Mohonk Mountain House, Shawangunk Mountains.
All
It's
right.
gorgeous.
All right.
I haven't been up there in a few years, but I need to go back and visit.
And then there's a connection to Pennsylvania. So how do you end up down here in the Triangle?
Honestly, I just did this.
There are more people. there, because I have quite a few. I think you're episode number 189, so I've had quite a few people on here, and you would be surprised. I bet you 20% of the people on this show that have moved down here, the exact same thing. We're looking for a good place to live, and we just started pointing at a couple, and boom, we landed on Raleigh or Cary.
Yeah, I was when I graduated high school, I was waiting tables at a local bar for 3 years. I had saved some money up, but I wasn't doing it. I'm like, there's nothing here for me. I wanted to see more, and I just packed my cats and my shoes and moved here. I got a job at the warehouse, which is no longer there, but it's now the police station.
Okay.
But I met a lot of my good friends there through work and just that time when I was working there.
Yeah. Very
and
nice.
Decided to stay. It's a great area.
Now you're going back up to the snow for Thanksgiving. Is that your way to enjoy snow for like a long weekend?
Yeah, so Brett's from Pennsylvania,
Okay.
Somerset, which is like the next town over from where the 9/11 crash was. Actually, we had gone up and visited. So they have snow up there, and that's why we went to Target and got our snow outfits just for the weekend. We're excited to go tubing. I haven't been, and Kaylee's never been tubing, so I'm excited. She's actually never been sledding really. Maybe once. When we had it a few years ago.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, so
Several
you're
years ago.
all right. Now, I met my wife in Texas. When anybody mentions tubing, we think of going down the river, but I don't think that's what you're talking about this week, are you?
No, and it's funny you said that because when I said that, my mom said, "Isn't it a little cold for that?" I said,
That's
"No,
my
Mom,
first thought.
No.
Tell your mom I had the same thought when you said.
Yeah, she's like, "What?"
I'm thinking like scuba gear and wetsuits and everything. You're like, I still think that's going to be cold though. So.
Yeah, we did that in Nashville a couple months ago, but we're gonna snow tube when we go up there.
Now, how was it? Have you met the future in-laws?
I have.
Okay.
Yep, I've met his mom and dad. Lovely.
Good.
His mom's big into craft, so
Oh.
I think my daughter's gonna have a good visit because
Good. Okay.
Yeah, she has a whole room of crafts that she makes cards and she
Wow.
has stamps and she's just very crafty.
Wow.
So Kaylee will have a good time.
Okay, good deal. All right, so a lot of people learned a lot of things today about health insurance. What's one or two things they should do once this show ends?
Do not go on the marketplace and put your private information in there.
Ooh, good. Good.
You will
advice.
get bombarded with telemarketer calls left and right for years and years to come. You should call me or call a U.S. Health Advisor that you know and say, "Hey, this is my situation. What is the best option for me?" Because we'll be able to tell you what the best option is for you. We can see the big picture. We're not here to sell our products. We want you to be in the best possible situation.
And we've been putting your phone number up. How many states are you licensed in?
I'm licensed in 17 right now.
Okay.
But if somebody's in a state that I'm not in, I can get licensed in a day. Or
Okay.
I have somebody that can run a quote for you immediately.
You know, I didn't even think about putting your information into the system. That's great advice today, because I think a lot of people do that. We don't think of for 7 more years I'm going to be getting mail from people that I have no idea who they are. So, all right, good stuff. But that's why we go to professionals like Kim. So if you just have any questions, folks, give her a call. Whether you buy anything from her or not, she's going to help you out. Believe me on that. So, Kim, we appreciate it. Have a safe trip to Pennsylvania. I'm
Thanks.
sure we'll be seeing some tubing photos on Facebook, and we'll check that out. Don't hurt yourself, okay?
I know. I can't. I'm going to take it easy.
Yeah, don't do any. Hey, y'all, watch this. Don't.
No, I'm going to let the kids go down and be crazy.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
take pictures at the bottom.
Yeah, let them find the stumps that you can't see from the snow first, and then you can just kind of glide down on
Let
it.
them go down first.
Yeah, you've earned the right to not get hurt. Let them get hurt. They recover quicker.
I have good health insurance, though, so that's good.
Yeah, you know somebody, right? So
Yeah, I know somebody.
yeah. Anyways, Kim, if you'll hang on through the closing credits, I want to talk to you. I forgot to tell you that at the beginning of the show. And folks, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time on Triangle BNI.
to the Nissan Communications Network. If you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it in the archives section at nissancommunications.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, and like us on Facebook. Sponsored by StreamingGear.com, Carolina Apparel, and DeltaForce.net.
We leave their country. They want us gone, and that's what we need to do. And you need to talk to your senators, and you need to talk to your congressmen, because the United States is trying to set up 5 permanent bases in Afghanistan after the drawdown. Keep our soldiers there. And that is just more fodder for Al-Qaeda, because they will not respect our rules of engagement.
You have some stickers and some bracelets. If you can hold up in front of the camera, close up so that
Excuse
the
me.
camera right there. So, and those are available if you would go to the North Carolina Vietnam Veterans website. We'll see if we can help you get some of these available. Wear them. Go out and put stickers on everybody. And I'm going to give you a couple minutes to catch your breath a little bit.
That'd be
we're
great.
We're going to take. Oh, you got a new guest. I'm sorry. Gus is back. Gus, go ahead. Gus?
Well, I'm just listening to Monica, and she's absolutely right. She's doing an excellent job explaining the whole situation on both her dogs. And she's right. We across the nation, we have the awareness for Bo. Back on June 28th, we did something up here in New Jersey at the Trenton State House. It was orchestrated by John Astorian. That was with the Legion Riders and Rolling Thunder pairing up together to bring awareness. Everything Monica has mentioned to you, I just wanted to say something about. They released after the drone drone strike in October. That's where it's getting a little hairy. Several Haqqani network terrorists were killed, and I think sources believe that's where they were keeping Bo in Pakistan. But, you know, it's all hearsay. You could go on. And I'd just like to say that they did release prison, I'm sure you guys are aware of, to Algeria, along with some cash, which is par for the course. And after that drone strike back in October, we had no problem sending $1.6 billion to that country who hates us, always ragging on us because we're wiping out the Al-Qaeda network and some of the Haqqani network. And by the way, Monica, I'm sure, is aware of this. Haqqani network is one of the most vicious terrorist organizations. They are the upper and the elite of the Al-Qaeda and Taliban forces. So that's another big problem we got to go. But that's all. I just wanted to say that. And you're doing an excellent job explaining the whole situation, Monica. I think you should be the speaker that day, the 24th, on the in front of the Lincoln Memorial. How's that?
Thank you, Gus. And Gus is right. The Haqqani network is the wealthiest network of terrorists in the world. They have holdings all over the world. Don't think that they're not in America, because they are.
If you'd also like to call in, again, the number is 919-518-9773, and make your comments or join Gus and Monica in discussion of Bo or the ride home or anything else you want to talk about as POWs. And now we're going to take a moment to look at a little thing. It's probably going to be kind of long for you to catch. You can come back on the recorded session and read some of the information about the POWs and so forth. There's some good information there about another POW we've talked a little bit about, the Merquez situation with Joseph Hargrove. Joseph Hargrove is from North Carolina. He's still missing. He was one of the 3 Marines that they went, oops, we forgot them, and left them on the island, and a little information about them. So after the quick film you're going to see, Bob Matthews will be here to talk with Monica some more and give her a chance to catch a breath. As you can see, she's very passionate about what she believes in, and that's what it takes to get anything done. You can't get anything done by sitting back going, well, I wish I could have done that. I should have done that. Somebody's going to get out there and do it. So, Mr. Producer,
right.
go.
When you were searching for my name today, I saw you standing there. Man, you look different with that silver in your hair. Me, I haven't aged a bit, still all of 21. That's the thing about us spirits, we're forever young at the wall. Here at the wall, we were proud to serve our country when called by Uncle Sam. Then more than a little anxious when they shipped us off to Nam. Remember all the heat and bugs, days marching through the mud, constant gunfire, smell of death, sight of all that blood. Some gave all. The names carved in this wall, but it's a wall of love, a wall that heals, a wall that touches, helps you feel the faces of more than 50,000 names. Feel the wall be forever changed. When we finally got the orders saying we could go back home, they were looking for my body, so you made the trip alone. Came back to a country couldn't comprehend how so many boys that left returned as messed up men who served with all. The names here on the wall, it's a wall of love, a wall that heals, a wall that touches, helps you feel the faces of more than 50,000 names. Feel the wall be forever changed.
You're sitting too low.
Welcome back to the Lessons of Vietnam. As Bill mentioned, my name is Bob Matthews, co-host of the show tonight, and I am very pleased to have as our guest Monica Cash, as you've seen the first half of the show tonight. And I wanted to mention to you, the slides that Bill Dixon's put together will be available on the internet in the archive for the entire show when you go back and look at it. A lot of great information.
The website on NCVVI.
On ncvvi.org. Great information. Bill did a wonderful job. And one of the things I wanted to talk to Monica about, and obviously her passion for this issue, Monica, my first question to you, and I'm coming from as an ex-teacher, of course, and you know
Right.
all the work we put in when it was teaching Vietnam to America. This is the one area that we always had I kind of want to say, we weren't prepared enough. We didn't know enough about this issue. And it seemed to me, and maybe you can help me with this, that a lot of people were like us, didn't care about it, didn't know about it, and didn't want to know about it. So when you come to that kind of confrontation, how do you handle that in your work when you talk to people that say, well, that's a great thing you're doing, but you can see they don't really care?
Well, for me, it was Bo's 27. Bo
Yes.
Bergdahl is 27. My son's 25. What if it was my son?
Sure.
And I have people, and I tell them this. I say, what if he was your son? Would you want me to care? Would you want me to fight to bring your son home? And they go, oh.
Of course.
Because if it doesn't affect their personal little bubble, many Americans just don't care. And it's not just about the POW issue. It's life.
Yeah. Well, Monica, one of the things we talked about before in all the dealings we've done together is if people aren't involved and they're uninformed, you have to somehow get them, light a fuse a bit. And what you just said makes a lot of sense. Make it personal.
Right.
Use some analogies. And when Bill and I decided to do 3 or 4 or 5 shows on the POW issue, of course, we thought of you and your work, your advocacy for this issue, because it's something that is not a quick fix. And Americans, and this is not a criticism, all of us are like this, we want things done yesterday. We want things fixed quickly, quick answers. We don't want to deal with something for years and years and years. But sometimes it takes that.
It does. It does. And, I was preparing for tonight, and I have talked to a gentleman. His name is Bill Dumas. He's one of the original POW-MIA activists. His brother, Roger Dumas, went missing in Korea. He was a POW. The POWs I've met from Korea knew him in camp. And he was within yards of the Freedom Village Bridge and was pulled back by the Koreans and never seen again. In 2007, a businessman who had a dual visa, he was American, but he had a visa for another country, was there buying leather goods in villages in Korea. And he drove by the mining district, and he said, why are there guards? Why are there armed guards at this mining camp? And his driver said, oh, that's where the Americans are.
Working.
And he said, the Americans? He says, yes, from the Korean War, the prisoners who were left behind, that's where they are. And he says, I need to go to the bathroom. And so he stopped and he paid them a couple of dollars, which was like a month's pay to one of these guys. And he got to go in. And almost immediately, an American walked up to him, and he said, my name is Roger Dumas. I'm an American. I want to go home. There are 10 of us here. And this American spoke to all of them. This is in 2007.
It's an amazing story.
And yes, and he came home, and he tried to tell the government about it. And one of the things that Bill Dumas says often, Kissinger, even though he's no longer in power, wants no POW to come home alive.
Of course not.
And the American government, he said that every time that the Koreans try to give us back our POWs, the American government throws more money at them to keep them.
Well, Monica, Bill and I talked about this on the last show, and I asked Bill a question. I said, what would happen, Bill, if somebody would walk out of the jungles, like in the movie with Chris Christopherson, what he did? Of course, it was a movie. Walk out of the jungles, being probably 60 years old, being in Vietnam, living somehow for 40-some years. The country would lose a great deal of face, because a lot of men, including the commission with John Kerry, John McCain, and all the people who went back to Vietnam and investigated and tried to normalize relations with Vietnam so we could get the POW answers. A lot of people were suspect about that. And, of course, there's a lot of conspiracy theories out there. People say, well, people that are doing this are trying to make money. They're trying to do this. And so what we decided to do on the show, one of the lessons of Vietnam has always been to ask the very, very hard questions and do not look for the quick fix. Do research, ask questions, and follow your research and follow it and follow it and follow it. We've had some wonderful teachers go through here, and we really love you being on the show tonight. And I know you know our good friend Bill Schuette.
Yes.
Now,
Mr. Schuette's a wonderful man.
Yes, he is. Bill Schuette is a treasure.
Yes.
I've said this before. Bill Schuette right now lives in Apex and just moved to Cary, and he is a ex-POW. I guess that's the way you say it properly.
Yes.
Because he's no longer a POW, of course. But Bill Schuette has spoken some classes in Wake County schools, and Bill has consented to be our guest on our next show, which is 2 weeks from today. I believe it's the fourth Wednesday. I believe it's the 22nd of January. Bill is going to come on the show, and I want to tell the audience who's listening tonight, and all of our friends in Wake County, to please tune in.
Oh, yes.
Because when you get a chance, my good friends, to talk to someone who went through the hell Bill Schuette did. Let me give you a little analogy what Bill told me when I first met him. I talked about Bill a little bit on the show last time we were on about how I met him, which I will go into great detail the next show. Bill told me, Bob, he said, when I left home my son was a half year old. When I came back, he was 7. Well, see, you don't make up for that. Bill has rebounded. Bill is a successful man, happily married, has children and grandchildren. We talked yesterday. He's watching tonight or listening tonight, and he'll be our guest next week. Mr. Bill Schuette, a POW in the Hanoi Hilton, and next week should be a gold mine of information. Now, this is an area I want to talk to Monica about next.
I wanted to tell you my Bill Schuette story, if I might.
You are going to.
Yes.
Yes.
Through you, I got contact with Bill Schuette, and when I was in Rolling Thunder, I asked Bill if he would please come and speak at a ride that we were having to benefit the ride home. And he said, you know, what am I going to talk about? I might have 5 or 10 minutes worth of stuff to talk about. And I said, it doesn't matter how long it is. Would you please honor us and please come? And everyone will just be honored to meet you. Come and speak. Well, 45 minutes later, he was still speaking. And if you looked out in the audience, not one person was bored. They were all sitting forward in their seats. They were all just in awe of everything that he had to say. Dynamic speaker, please tune in to the next show. You're going to enjoy Mr. Bill Schuette for sure.
Oh, yes. Well, see, Bill Schuette is one of those guys that's so engaging. He takes you with him. He takes you back in history with him. And he has a right, of course, to shut everything out. His privacy is what I always respected. And I've asked him some very hard questions, and he's talked to some students with great love and great understanding, because as Monica said before, a lot of people are interested in the POW issue, the MAA issue, but they don't know what to ask. They don't know if they're going to hurt your feelings. They don't know if they're asking too much. And I had the opportunity to speak at a breakfast of POW families a few years back, and you can't ever tell that group to, hey, come on, wake up. They're probably all dead. You never cross that bridge. Hope is eternal. And as you said before, Monica, when you talk to people like Bo and Bo's family, and I'm wearing a Bo bracelet tonight. I wear one every day.
Great. Every day.
Every day.
Wear them every day.
And I've talked about Bo, and I will talk about my granddaughter for a moment. She was sitting at the table with me last night, Tori, and I said to her, you were going to be on the show. I was telling her about different things, and she's 17 years old, and I said, now, what would you ask? What do you think about this issue? You've seen my bumper sticker. The POW flag is evident in my home, and the Vietnam conflict is part of my life. As you, of course, have said, this is a big deal in your life. And I said, what would you say? And she thought for a long time, and she goes, you know, what will you tell the soldiers today that are going to serve our country if they find out that we had left men behind and don't bother going looking for them once they're out of harm's way and they're home safe and sound? Maybe they won't go anymore. Out of the mouths of babes.
Yes, and that's a very famous quote by George Washington. You know, how the willingness for our young people to serve will be based on how they see the veterans respected.
Exactly.
Today.
Now, we have a couple more things to talk about tonight. And one of the things is this, is the POW issue, the MAA issue, is so relevant in the schools today, and it's becoming so popular on college campuses. As Vietnam enters its 50th anniversary year, there are more people that for some reason, for years, took a lunch break. They weren't involved, and now they're looking and they're asking better questions. They're going back and doing research, and they're calling ncvvi.org. I got a call today. And with the internet, it's so wide open for people to ask questions, and then you can get back to them and build this network up. And Monica, you've been so involved with this group, and I heard a rumor that you're going